back to my channel and welcome back to a brand new Sims 4 speed build using the Sims 4 Businesses and Hobbies. Yes, it's been a few months since the pack came out, but I'm still here building lots and lots of businesses. And this one is actually my first small business venue that I'm using custom content for, which is so exciting because I feel like I haven't built with custom content in ages. And we are building a small bookshop cafe business. So it's really, really adorable. It has an apartment on the top floor. It's really cozy and yeah, just a very small bookshop and cafe with an apartment on the top floor. It's very, very exciting. And I have actually been using this for my personal gameplay and it's been super, super fun. The inspiration for the exterior is kind of British and like London inspired because that's what I'm surrounded by. And I really wanted it to feel like this old building that has been converted into this bookshop and apartment. And it has lots of traditional and beautiful British exterior features, and we're of course using a lot of the estate set by Felixander. I mean, that can't be missing from any of my builds now. It's literally my favorite set on earth. And for the exterior it was just perfect. So we're using the estate stone, which we're using for the walls, and then the bookshop front is the estate timber paneling, which I really, really like. The exterior I wanted to feel really, really ornate and interesting and beautiful and old. So we're using lots and lots of architectural details, most of which are from Felixander, of course. We're using the estate windows with the gorgeous window frames that you can put on separately. And we've got a stunning trim. We've got these kind of pediments and the pedestals on the roof. And I'm actually using a few wall decorations from the Castle Estate kit, which is like my favorite kit ever created. We're just using a lot of exterior features to make it as realistic as possible and to really convey the character and age of this building, and I really love it. And we're also using the estate fence around the property because it's just so London-esque. It's like the perfect fence for a London style building. And we've got beautiful greenery climbing up on the walls outside, and they're again from the estate kit. Shock, I feel like you're gonna get really bored of me saying estate in this video. And for the shop windows, I actually used the Soho windows by Felixander because you can kind of create how large you want them to be, which is super cool. And especially because it's kind of a bay window situation at the front of this shop, that was really, really handy because it meant I could like customize how large I wanted the windows to be, and they were really, really perfect. They have like this old-fashioned style. I do get a bit of a New York vibe from them, but I think it works perfectly fine here. And yeah, so we're using those, and we're using the estate front door, and I really love those shop windows. I filled those with bookshelves, so from the front you'll see nothing but books, and it's kind of a window seat book area. You'll definitely have to stick around to see how that turned out. It's super cute. And then I also used the awnings from the Paris set by Felix, just because they're the classiest awnings out there and I love them so much. And yeah, that is basically the front of the exterior. The entrance to the apartment, which is just on the top floor, is actually on the side back. So that's a separate entrance. You don't have to go through the shop in order to go upstairs. And yeah, it's super, super cute. I'm using the London door for the front door from Felixander. And yeah, it's got this separate entrance up to the first floor, but you'll see the apartment and how that comes together a bit later. We'll start with the cafe and bookshop. To be fair, I was really inspired just by these old buildings that are in London, and I really wanted the cafe to also feel warm and cozy on the interior. So we're using timber paneling, which is the estate paneling, and I wanted to combine it with some fun tiles, and we're going for this checkerboard tile look. And these are from Pierre Sim, I believe. I love the red and white combination. I think it looks really, really cute and also quite contemporary among all the timber paneling. And this entire cafe is kind of, and also the upstairs, is centered around the colors cream and kind of the red, which I just really like that color. I think it's so warm and so cozy. And yeah, I mean, it is neutral as always, like all my builds, as you'll know if you've been around for a long time, tend to be quite neutral just because that's what I enjoy the most. I think it's the most aesthetic to me. My brain can't like cope with being stimulated by lots and lots of colors, so yeah, calming neutrals it is. But yeah, I like the pop of red every now and then. But yeah, talking about that cafe counter area, I really wanted to have like all the pastries and cakes on display, and to do that I'm using the clean bookshelves. They're actually, yeah, bookshelves by Harry, but I really like the idea of having the pastries on like a diagonal shelf, so it's kind of angled and not flat, and so you see all the baked goods much better. And all the baked goods are from the spoon set by Harry, which I wish there was more of them. I really love the look of like baked goods out in the open in a bakery and cafe. We need more bread, like all shapes and loaves and whatnot, just to put on shelves in bakeries. I would really love that. We don't have enough of those. But yeah, these are all the spoons pastries, which are adorable and I love them so much. And yeah, then I also cluttered up these shelves with beautiful baskets from the Chateau set by Felix, and lots of cafe clutter from the cold brew set by Pierre-Sim, which is a great pack if you want kind of custom content for cafe styles. And they're quite European, so I love those. And then I am also using a lot of the clutter from the rustic set by Harry, which is so unbelievably gorgeous. Like the dishes, the plates and the cups are all from her set, and I love the scalloped edge. Like I am obsessed and I want them in real life. And yeah, so that had to go in here. That whole set is just to die for, honestly. Like everything Felix, Harry and Pierre-Sim touch is like chef's kiss, honestly. So stunning, anything. So that's why I'm raving on about most of their CC this entire video. And then I also wanted to create a sign for, you know, ordering, because I feel like we don't have any very minimal and aesthetic signs like that in the game. And yeah, so I built that kind of myself using a timber backing from the MCM set by Pierre-Sim, and then I used lots of decals to kind of portray different drinks on the menu and what they cost. I like how it turned out. It's really sweet. And then for the cafe bar counter, I am using the Paris counter by Felix, just because it also has this tiled look, which I thought looked really good together with the tiled floor, and it has the exact same colorway, so it's like the white and the red, so it picks that up from the floor, and I really like how it looks. It's super cute. It's like this really long counter, and there's again more pastries on there because never can have enough pastries, and I love how that turned out. That whole corner is so cute. And I'm using some pendants by Pierre-Sim, which are, I think, inspired by the PH pendant or PH5 pendant by Paul Henningsen, which is like my favorite designer pendant on earth, and I definitely want one in real life one day. And then coming to the window seat bookshelves that I've been banging on about at the beginning of the video, I really wanted the windows to just be covered in books and for it to look really sweet from the outside, but also be usable window seats from the inside. So I created these window seat nooks using the organic benches by Felix and Harry, and then yeah, cluttered those windows up with thousands of books. It must be thousands of books. It felt like thousands of books, placing them all down, not gonna lie. And yeah, adding some cute cushions to make it really cozy, and they are functional, so that is really fun. Your Sims can actually sit on those window seats being surrounded by books and having a little read. And then I really love the table that I'm using throughout for the interior. That's from the estate set by Felix, as well as the armchair that I'm using throughout. It's like this brown, like reddish brown color. I love it. It's rather a like traditional look, but I think in this build it really works quite well. And like we have a lot of contemporary finishes and like details here and there, and then the odd traditional piece really works well. That's my go-to style. It's like mixing the old and the new, and I really like how it turned out. And then we of course have some outside seating as well. I really think any cafe needs outside seating, and I wish more cafes in the UK actually did that, or in London, because not many places have like areas where you can sit outside. And when you have sun in the UK, which is, you know, 5 days of the year, but when you have sun in the UK, it's so nice to just sit in the sun and like be outside. And so yeah, my dream cafe definitely needed those outdoor seating opportunities, and I really love how it turned out. I'm using the new, I'm saying new, it's from the latest expansion pack. It's the Businesses and Hobbies parasol, which is just stunning and super contemporary. And then I'm using some very European vibes out here for the seating and the tables. We're actually using the Paris chairs and tables. I know that this is, I said this is inspired by like London and it's supposed to feel like London, but I do feel like they do. I mean, you don't see those kind of rattany looking chairs very often in London, but the tables, you know, it's close enough. One can have imagination. Also, if you're wanting to buy the new Sims 4 Businesses and Hobbies pack, or any other pack for that matter, you can use my creator code, which is evarotky at checkout. That directly supports me and the channel, and yeah, I really appreciate everybody who's been buying the new pack with my code since I've been a lot builder. It really, really meant a lot for that pack specifically. But yeah, thank you to everybody who's been using my code. I really, really appreciate it. And then coming back to the interior of the cafe, I wanted it to be like littered with bookshelves, and unfortunately these bookshelves aren't kind of working as sellable surfaces, so like anything that you put on, Sims won't buy, which is fine. Like, I don't need them to buy the books, I guess they can just read books, but I did want to have a kind of area that felt like a bit of a shop, so I've created that. So the activities that I've gone for this build are drink coffee, drink tea, eat food, and then read, obviously. And I also added do classes and lectures. Actually, I did in the end add a whiteboard to this build for my own gameplay, just because it makes the most money, unfortunately. So you can do that. I added it like at the back of the shop where all the bookshelves are that you don't really need to access. And also, one thing that is really, really irritating me in my own gameplay is the Sims don't put their books back. And then at the end of the day, when you like shut the shop, you have thousands of books just lying around that you then have to clean up. It is rather irritating, but I guess that's the challenges that come with being a small business owner, I guess. But yeah, so I wanted to create this kind of bookshop style area. Even though it's not functional, I just wanted it there for decorative purposes and for immersion. I just, yeah, really like my builds to look realistic, and that's why I've created this beautiful counter. It's like a stone floating counter, which is from Pierre Sim. I believe it's from the MCM set, and then that's kind of littered with books, and I also put a cash register on top, which again is for decorative purposes, and that's actually from the Arnold set by Pierre Sim, which is kind of a shop inspired set, so that was perfect. And also all the little price tags that I'm using on the books, which I am obsessed with. All of those are also from the Arnold pack by Pierre Sim, and I have been wanting, in my no CC builds, I've been wanting price tags so badly, and I'm so sad that they missed that opportunity for this pack. But I mean, CC creators always come out with the best stuff anyway. So moving on to the residential part of it, so the apartment, I did create a little hallway and a laundry room. Like I said, the apartment is just on the top floor and it is rather small, so I had to fit in quite a lot in very little space. My favorite thing though is, well, I just love the whole thing, to be honest, but I love the kitchen and the living room. I think they turned out so good. And in the kitchen, I'm using the Octave kitchen by Harry, which is my absolute favorite kitchen of all time, and I really genuinely want that exact kitchen that I made in that build for myself one day. Like, that metal look is so stunning. I'm just absolutely obsessed. And yeah, we're using these kind of short shelves by Pierre Sim, and I love all those shelves and the swatches of those. I think they're perfect, and I don't particularly love using like overhead cupboards in kitchens. I like the open shelving look, and then you can style it beautifully with lots and lots of clutter. So that is what I did, and again, more of the rustic pieces and lots of the Grove set. Like, there's so much beautiful clutter in the CC world out there. It's almost overwhelming. Like, I don't know what to put. I tend to put the same items at all times, but yeah, I tried to branch out with, you know, newer set. I cluttered up the island with lots of kind of jars and more like pantry-esque looking things, and pans and pots and all that. Little pantry clutter bits are by Pierre Sim. And then moving on to the living room, I am absolutely obsessed with this. I was inspired by a living room that was designed by State of Craft. I really liked the color palette and the kind of style. It was like right up my street. So we're kind of pulling that together in The Sims. It's this traditional fireplace, which is from Harry, and I'm obsessed with it. And then to contrast, this really modern kind of art piece above, and then the reddish colours and the leathers and kind of those materials are just pulling it together so nicely with the black accents. I'm absolutely obsessed. We're using the Florence sofa by Felix, which is my favourite sofa of all times. Like, I really, really like that sofa so much, and that red is just so perfect. And then we're also using the Utrecht chair, which again I would love to own in real life. I feel like you can see a kind of theme of me wanting to just live in this apartment. And then I really wanted to pull it together with lots of textures in this area. So the timber coffee table, which looks like hammered timber, I really, really like that one. And it gives a bit of a kind of rustic look to this polished interior. And I love that kind of edginess of it. Like, it's not like super sleek and like one-dimensional. It actually has lots and lots of character. And that's how I like my interiors. We've got like the stone side table as a contrast as well, so another texture. We've got this beautiful kind of jute rug, which is by Felixander. I really, really, really like how this turned out. I do enjoy playing in it very, very much, just because it's such an aesthetically pleasing place to play in. Like, that's the thing about custom content. Like, it's just so pretty that I enjoy playing in it so much more than normal game items. Although they're getting better, they are getting better, but it's not the level of custom content for sure. And then moving on to the bedroom part of the flat, which was proving to be a little bit tricky with the staircase layout. It was a little bit awkward. I tried to squeeze in the bed into the kind of niche between the staircase and the wall, but it just wasn't looking right. So I had to shimmy the staircase over a little bit. And then I am using the clean headboard by Harry, which I really, really like. Again, it's like another texture. It's the metal, which anything textured is just up my street so much. And then that bedding, I am loving it so much. That draping fabric, like, it makes you want to like cozy up in bed like instantly. And then moving on to the final part of this build is the little bathroom. I am using the estate wallpaper, which is that half marble, half paint wallpaper, and it's a red marble. I actually originally wanted to use tiles in the shower, but I decided against it. I just didn't like the look of it because they didn't match the floor. So we're going for the red marble in this bathroom. I love it so much. It's so cute. And then we're using the Soho wall divider for the shower, Soho sink and Soho bathtub. And I really love actually these checkerboard towels that come with the estate set by Felix. I just think they're so, so, so cute. And you know, having the checkerboard theme throughout this building, I just couldn't help but use them. But yeah, that is unfortunately everything that I have time for today. I really hope you enjoyed that little small cafe and bookshop business. Can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you very, very soon. Bye!